Blessed be everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about the Strength card in the tarot. This is the Waite Smith deck, and it's got some beautiful imagery on it that I want to talk about. And the meaning of this card, it is the shadow work card essentially, and I love talking about shadow work. Before we begin though, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path and the Confident Tarot Reader course. If you want to know more about the Confident Tarot Reader course, there's a link in the description field below this video, and you can also get tarot coaching with me one-to-one. There's a link in the description field about how you can do that as well. So with the Strength card, we are dealing more with inner strength. So this is about our true strength. So when it comes to the tarot, it's always got that deeper meaning, more than just the mundane meaning. Sure, it can mean strength of health and strength in relationships and strength in all sorts of ways, but its esoteric meaning is more to do with our true strength. And this means taming our inner lion. The lion represents our animal nature, or our instincts, our ego, and the woman is there taming that instinct. She's representing that purity of the spiritual self, the higher self. She's also representing the subconscious mind. You'll notice with this card there's a lemniscate, or the figure 8 there, the infinity symbol on this card, and there's also the same infinity symbol on the Magician card. And the Magician card is all about putting your will into the world and using the tools that you have to project your potential into the world. It's an active card, whereas this card is more a passive card or a receptive card, and this is about going within. So the Magician is about creating from the without. In our lives, the Strength card is about going into the within and being the master of our own self, our self-mastery. And how we do this is by going into ourselves and looking at our thoughts and our beliefs and our subconscious and what we're telling ourselves. Throughout Western magical history, there's often been a lot of talk about suggestion and the power of suggestion. If you read any of Franz Barden's work, he talks about suggestion, and it's used a lot. And that's like a self-hypnosis. It's the power of suggestion. We are suggestible beings, and we learn about ourselves and the world through suggestion, particularly in the first 7 years of our life when we're running around in a theta brainwave state, just soaking up everything like a little sponge. And so a lot of our beliefs about ourselves actually come from that time. And our ego will work very, very hard to try and keep us safe the same way it did when we were between the ages of 1 and 7. And often that doesn't work anymore when we're adults, and our beliefs that we've gained during that time aren't helpful to us now, and a lot of them aren't even real. They're not even true. So what happens when we reach this part of the practice, this part of the magical practice, the esoteric practice, is we have to go within ourselves and we have to find who we truly are. We have to look at our ego. We have to see all of the dark side of ourselves, warts and all, go down into that realm and not so much clean it up. It's about really looking at ourselves and turning that into gold, turning what we find down there into something positive, working with those qualities, finding the gift in those qualities and working with that aspect of the shadow. We can't totally get rid of our shadow selves. We can't annihilate the ego. We can't do that. The ego is going to be with us while we're on this planet. So we have to learn how to tame it with this card rather than try to destroy it, which some schools of thought talk about. We've got a mountain in the background, so that would indicate that, you know, it's a tough hill to climb. Like, it's a mountain, you've got to climb it to do this. It's not an easy task, and it takes a long time. It's not something you can do in a couple of weeks. But there's a lot of fertile green imagery in this card too. So there's a lot of beautiful, fertile energy. It's a very creative energy. It's got a certain softness about it, and you've got roses here too, which indicate the passion there, and love as well. So going down and doing this work with love, with compassion for yourself, and being gentle with yourself. It's a very gentle card. If it turns up in a reading and it is positively aspected, then you are looking at a person or a situation where there's a lot of inner strength happening, that you've got what it takes to move through the situation, even if it doesn't feel that way. Maybe you will receive help with somebody who can help you see things more clearly about what you can do about the situation within yourself. It can indicate that you have the potential to be able to step back and look at yourself more. You've got a strong sense of self. And it can also indicate, depending on what the question is and what the reading is, if you're reading for yourself, that you do have this ability to be able to achieve self-realization, which is what the whole process of magic is about on that esoteric level. The alchemy, all that stuff, it's about self-realization. It's about realizing who we really are, which is creative beings, that we are all connected, that we are consciousness itself being expressed in our human form. And we want to go back to that realization and that self-mastery. And so through the Strength card, through going down into the subconscious mind, we're connecting with our thoughts. We're realizing what our thoughts are, how our thoughts create beliefs, and how our beliefs then create our perceptions. If the card's negatively aspected, it would indicate that that strength isn't there, or that self-awareness isn't there in a situation, that it might be something that the person needs to develop or needs to look at. It can have more surface meanings too, so it could mean, recovery from an illness. It could mean recovery from some kind of weakness in some way if it's positively aspected. It can, if it's negatively aspected, it could indicate that there is a weakness in a particular area. But if you're doing shadow work or anything like that, this is the card that you want to look at every day to remind yourself of what it is that you're doing. It's just that reminder. And if you get it in readings when you're doing shadow work and it's upright, it's just indicating that, you're doing the work. If it's reversed and you're doing shadow work readings, then you know what to do. You know what to look at, that you need to go into yourself to often look at what it is about yourself that's contributing to the situation. A lot of people will come to tarot readings looking for solutions, looking for reassurance, and wanting to know exactly what's going to happen in the future. And the Strength card, whilst it can give you some indications, when it does turn up in a reading, you could really go down to that deeper meaning with the person you're reading for, to look at how they're contributing to the problem or the situation, and try to get them to see where their self-awareness could help them get out of the situation. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. A lot of people want to blame the outside world for everything. So you kind of got to, I guess, work with whoever your client is. But that card is kind of indicating that, they either can do the inner work, they are doing the inner work, or they need to do the inner work to see results, the type of results that they want anyway. We're coming into an era now where I think a lot more people are becoming more aware of self-development or self-mastery and self-realization. And so some people are more aware now that we have a lot more control over our feelings than we used to believe that we did, that the way we feel is up to us. It's not up to anyone else how we feel. And Our feelings are something that we own, and they're something that we have 100% power over. So that's an empowering thing to know that. It's empowering to know that we have control over our feelings. It's empowering to know that our feelings are how we're reacting to a situation, and that's all they are. Chemicals running through the nervous system telling us something. They're a guidance system. They're not the thing, but we feel that they're the thing because they're feelings. This card is about really going in and finding out what's behind the feelings, what thoughts are behind the feelings, what have you learned, what are you telling yourself, and what can you tell yourself differently in order to change the feeling. So that is the meaning of the Strength card. If you want to learn tarot with me, do take a look at the Confident Tarot Reader, link in the description field below this video. If you want a tarot coaching session with me, there's also a link in the description field about how you can do that too. If you liked the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.